Wiki, Rise and Shine, it's good afternoon time. Live direct from the YouTube Asylum.
Welcome back to the channel. So let's have a little update of what's been going on lately. So Jay Slater missing latest. Locals report teen watching Euro 2024 matches in Tenerife after last contact. Which I don't know whether I believe. Do we think that he's sitting watching the Euro 2024 when everybody's running about looking for him? Maybe if he's in hiding or something, but then he's not in hiding, he's sitting watching Euro 2024. Spanish police have spoken to several people who said they may have seen Jay Slater watching Euro 2024 matches after his last contact with friends, a local mayor has said. Emilio Jose Navarro, I think I got that right, mayor of the town of, Santiago del Teide, I think I've got that right, maybe not, said officers have interviewed a number of people who believe they saw the 19-year-old. Now, I think maybe these people have, maybe seen something on the news, and then they've maybe seen someone that does match him, and I don't know. It would be a strange one if he is actually sitting watching Euro 2024, isn't it? So moving on, British former police officer with experience in major high-profile investigations has landed in Tenerife to help in the search for missing Jay Slater. The search for the British 19-year-old who went missing during a holiday last Monday has now entered its second week. Mark William Thomas, an ex-police officer who helped in the search for missing mother Nicola Bulley last year, reportedly reached out to Mr. Slater's mother, offering his assistance. Speaking to the Mirror, Mr. William Thomas has said, having feet on the ground and looking at the scenario and the circumstances, I know I will get to the bottom of this in 3 days. I'm glad they have allowed him to come in and look at things, because I do think an independent person, rather than the police, because I think the police are trying to hide stuff. I think the family are trying to hide stuff. So I think somebody with no connections to any of them, go in there, have a good look at it. Now, I thought if they refused him to have a look at it, then they knew that he might uncover something that they don't want uncovered. But it shows that they are allowing somebody independent to come in and have a look at this. Moving on, so when we were explained this case, they said that Jay went on holiday with two of his friends, that being Lucy and Brad. Now, there is another one that they went on holiday with, this Brandon. His nickname's Hodgie. Now, I'm going to be putting on a little bit of this video. It's a video of TikTok. It's like a live stream, and it's the people talking. This last knows this Hodgie, Brandon, that went on holiday with them, because it wasn't just the two of them that went with Jay. There was three of them. There was Brad, Lucy and Brandon. Now, Brad's mum is Rachel Hargreaves, and she's been censoring the Missing Find Jay Slater Facebook group. She's actually the admin, so she's been censoring it so that her son's name never gets mentioned. I do have a little bit from Hayley Comet off TikTok, saying, putting her in her place, so I will play that after this, but I'll come back to you after this.
Well, let's start. How well do you know Brandon?
You're breaking up, Jolie.
Yeah. How do you well hear?
She's breaking up, guys.
Jolie, how well do you know Brandon? How do you know him?
Oh, hang on. Not personally. I mean, I've had an experience with him, which is why I say about the rugs thing. He has dealt to my friend in the past, and off the back of what he had dealt her, she wasn't in the best way at all. So you don't know? Well, no, I do. My friend Kyra.
Ignore the comments, Jolie.
Yeah, it's okay. My friend Kyra, we were on a night out in Burnley, which is where I believe that this Lucy is from. And we were on a night out, and she said, "Oh, I need something for the night out," and I was like, "Well, I don't, I don't do that type of thing." And she rang Hodges, they call him, They don't call him by his first name. It's either Hodge or Hodgie. So she rang him, got some, I think it was pills.
Okay, so it wasn't like a smoking sort of thing. It's quite serious.
No.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah, and she'd had it dropped off. You know, I physically saw him. Like, I was waiting outside of the car. My friend got into the car, and I think she took about half. And within sort of half an hour, I've never seen anybody react to something that badly in my life. Like, that's not. I've got videos of her, of how she was. She couldn't walk. I had to carry her. You know, we had to take her to another girl's house after the night out, and we both had to carry her. Like, it was horrific. It was really bad. So that's why I say, you know, I can, you know, like...
You know of him, and you know what his character is like, you know who he is, and you know...
Yeah, like seeing my friend...
Yeah.
Seeing my friend in that state after he'd, you know, like, hand given her something, you know, it wasn't like he passed it to someone and someone else had passed it to my friend. It was almost like a fake taxi, but just not in the way that, you know, that springs to mind.
Comments back on, please, darling. I'll shout if we need the comments off, yeah? Let's put comments on. We need people to be participating. Thank you, darling.
Julie, have you ever seen Lucy, or...
No, no, and I've seen a lot of things.
I'm going to put you on a mute for 5 minutes and think about your behaviour, and if you do that again, then you're going to get blocked. That's your first and only warning, darling. You've got 5 minutes to think about how unkind your comments are, okay?
Yeah, I don't know Lucy personally, and I know there's a lot of speculation about how well Jay knows Lucy and things like that. I personally don't, you know, I don't have a clue. So I'm not going to sit here and make something up that I do know her and what she's like, because I honestly have no idea. She's from a completely different town than Jay, like completely different. So no.
You see like that on his Instagram.
Yeah.
It's for someone that's from Jay's area and obviously know of these people.
Yeah.
How would you read that? How do you translate that when you see it? Like, what does that mean to you?
There's two sides of it. I think when people are sort of hacking into different accounts like Rachel's and all these things that I'm seeing, I think it's very easy to get a hold of someone's account information and change it to look like that. It all kind of looks very fitting for the situation, and to me it looks fake. Obviously no one's going to know if it is or not, but I mean, that's just my opinion. I just think the whole bio and the emojis and the profile picture, I think it's just all a bit fitting for what's going on.
We need to stop telling Jolie what she should be doing, saying and everything else in the chat. Jolie is well protected by me and my team, okay? So, you know, Jolie wants to come up here and talk, let her talk. Stop telling her to make fake accounts, to be careful, all of this. Jolie is from the area, as many people are, and many people know the family. They know people involved in this. It doesn't mean they need to go hiding or change their names.
Definitely.
Anybody that is negative towards Jolie will just be blocked. Do you know what I mean? Simple.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Joe, the only reason I asked was because I'm just wondering if how well of a connection this Lucy and Hodgie might have.
I mean, it's a valid question. Like, I won't sit and say, oh, you can't ask that. Like, it is a valid question. You've got to look at everything, and I think Hodgie has, I'll call him Hodgie just because that's what people call him, but I think he does.
You know him, yeah.
Yeah, like, he does have a lot of connections, and like for example, my friend who had that experience, she is also from the area. And you kind of mention his name to people sort of around the same area or from the same area, and you know, you have heard of him, and that the Rugs is normally unfortunately what is associated. So
Yeah.
what his part is in this, I have no idea. I'm just speaking on kind of what I've witnessed, and it was terrible seeing my friend like that. I'd never seen anything like it, especially when I don't do that sort of thing. It was, I didn't know whether to ring an ambulance or to give her water or what, but...
Yeah.
Knowing your friend, are they a regular user of that stuff? And have they reacted like that previously?
So that particular friend more smokes the green. She has taken a few things like that before, but I haven't ever seen her how she was. Unfortunately, it was, yeah.
So that was very interesting what she was saying there, wasn't it? Now, the reason why I think that's important, because I think they're trying to keep this Brandon out of it. Now, I think that because it was reported that he was with someone with an orange top on. Now, that Brandon got photographed and he had an orange top on. Now, if you watch Hayley Comet's YouTube channel, she explains that Brandon was photographed kind of staring at Jay most of the night. Why he was staring at him, even she said it was a little bit creepy, you know, seeing him staring at him. So I think it does become important, especially that their friends flew back straight away. Literally the next day after their friend went missing, they flew back to the UK. That in itself is strange. Now, the picture you're looking at on the screen, this is one of Jay's last Snapchats that he sent, and it looks like he's standing on the steps to that house that he's went to. But if you look, he's got a cigarette in his hand. He's got a light, I think that's a lighter, but he's got some sort of, and now people can't make out what it is. It's either a scarf or some sort of, you know, neck covering scarf, you know, I don't know, some kind of, you know, old women's, I don't know, or a shirt. But then if you look at his boots, like, they're not the kind of boots that, say, Jay would wear. So did he not have a top, and did he lose his trainers? Like, that's questions that they should be asking themselves, especially when that was sent and then literally not long after he's lost, dehydrated. It doesn't look lost and dehydrated there, because if you look at the distance from that place to where say his phone was found, you know, I don't think he would be that disorientated by then. You know what I mean? You could still think then. I'm sure you could. You know, get on the next bus, or, you know, your head wouldn't tell you to walk 11 hours. You know, 11 hours is way too much to be walking. So next up, I've got a video by Hayley Comet, and she's addressing Rachel Hargreaves, the mother of Brad, the way she's running the Facebook groups. So I'll put this video on and I'll come back to you right after it.
Hi guys, so I want to make this video directed at Rachel Hargreaves, which is the lady who's running the Find Jay Slater, Missing Jay Slater official page, the one with over 500k members. Now, Rachel is Brad's mum, and she is obviously flown out alongside Jay's mum in order to help with the search. But there's a problem. Because, Rachel, what you've done is you've used that group for your own gain. You've used that group to make sure that Brad isn't mentioned. And I get it, you're a mum. But there's also a 19-year-old boy missing. And that group hasn't once been used in a productive way to help find Jay. You've not asked for any dash cam footage, any doorbell footage. You've not asked for last sightings of Jay. You've not asked people from the Energy Festival to actually upload anything they may have with Jay in it. You've actually blocked people who have bought you valid leads. The man who tried to tell you that his son had questioned people in the church who had shut him down as soon as he mentioned Jay's name, you deleted his post and blocked him. 4 days ago, you were given that picture of Jay, the picture that hit the media yesterday, of the boy in grey outside the church, and you said that had been ruled out by Jay's mum. Then yesterday it hits the British media that it may be the last sighting of Jay. That's 3 days lost because of that behaviour. Jay's mum posted yesterday about her opinions on the public's reaction to the GoFundMe page. Why didn't she use that group? If she had any control over that group, Why would she use her own Facebook account when no one was going to see that post apart from a few screenshots that were shared around? Why didn't she use her son's group as it was about the GoFundMe from that group? Why are you deleting all comments that say anything negative about you, yet you leave all of the comments that are negative towards Jay or his mum? It makes no sense. On the first day that group was made, when there was about 70k members, you said about people searching in Tenerife and said you were going to go on a search yourself. Since then, you've not mentioned any searching. You've not rubbished any of the rumours that have come out in recent days that have been so harmful to Jay's mum about her being related to the Karen Matthews and all of that. You've ignored that, but someone said you were on a boat, so you actually come back and said, this isn't me, don't say this about me. Then you said the same thing when someone said that they've got a message. No, this is a fake account. It's not a self-promotion page for you, Rachel. It's supposed to be used to find Jay. So why aren't you making one post that actually would help in the search of a missing 19-year-old boy? Why is that page being used to cover for people like Brandon, Brad, your son, and Lucy? Because no one's allowed to ask valid questions. I have submitted to that group 4 times a request for an up-to-date timeline of who really spoke to Jay last and what was said during that phone call. And each time you've actually not approved those posts. How can people find Jay if we don't even have a timeline to work from? Why has Brad not said anything? He put one post on his own social media. This boy's like a brother to me. I love him. I would never let anything happen. But you don't love him enough to look for him? It's just really bizarre. That Facebook group is being used for your own gain. It's not for Jay at all. And somebody needs to take the control of that group away from you. You've gone out there to control a narrative. You've not gone out there to help at all. Not once have I seen a post where I thought, wow, they're actually looking for some information here. In your last post, Rachel, there is 980 comments, yet only 2 of them can be read by the British public. So why are you hiding comments that are asking you questions? Why are you hiding comments that don't agree fully with you? Why post about that if people aren't allowed to have a response to it? It makes no sense. How much time must it be taking you to hide that many comments when you could actually be out there hanging flyers or doing something productive in this search? Why go to Tenerife at all if you didn't want to help? It makes no sense. The public have been quite awful, and some of the things that have been said about Jay, posts where he's been mocked when people have laughed at him, you haven't actually mentioned those. But if someone dares say something about you, you need to use that group, Jay's group, to actually rectify that and clear your name. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that now. Like, that group has only ever give us restricted information that is controlled by yourself in order to make you or your son look good in this. I'm not saying Brad had any part in what happened to Jay, but does he know more? 100% he knows more. You know more. Lucy wouldn't lie if she had nothing to lie about. Brandon, why was he watching Jay all that night, getting wrecked in the club, and no one did anything? What, and then they walked him outside and put him in a car with strangers by himself? I don't think so. We're never ever going to get close to finding Jay until the truth comes out.
And that's going to be it for today. So, Leah, look at Lucy's smug face. I think it's all come crumbling down now at House of Cards, isn't it? She really didn't, think something like this was going to happen, but it has. And I think what it's done is it's opened the people's eyes to see that something's going on Tenerife Island. Something is going on that island. And it's come to the forefront now, hasn't it? And I think it's going to be very interesting to watch. So that's going to be it for today. Subscribe, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.